here's famed King Gustav V of Sweden. And here, through shrouded streets of Stockholm, it's 1907, as Sweden's Oscar II goes to rest. A freshman king at 49, here's Gustav with Tsar of Russia. A sportsman and his nation's leading sports fan at over 50, he makes awards at 1912 Olympics. Here at outbreak of First World War, he confers with Poincaré. He keeps Sweden out of that conflict. And here in 1925, he and his Queen Victoria pay official visit to ancient cathedral. A king and queen sign their royal names for Sweden and posterity. A great equestrian, King Gustav reviews his troops on horseback, though he's now nearly 70. In November 1925, he joins King Christian of Denmark and Sweden's Prince Carl and Prince William on an expedition into the Scandinavian wilds in search of moose. It's 16th of June 1928, and Gustav celebrates his 70th birthday with stamina and strength of a far, far younger man. A guiding influence in Sweden's application and development of modern life and modern living, in May 1930, Gustav takes his royal family on visit to Stockholm's exhibition of applied art. Fairground buildings are similar to structures found everywhere in Gustav's progressive Sweden. A tower in spirit and mind as well as in body, Gustav is leader among Europe's royalty. Here he's with Prince of Wales. The same year, 1932, with his daughter Astrid, who died as Belgian princess. And here in 1934, Gustav entertains Prince Leopold, who married his daughter Astrid and took her to her tragic and untimely death in Belgium. It's now 1938, and 80-year-old King Gustav trades fond and friendly memories with Swedish subjects who are as old as he. And here's the amazing monarch of Sweden at 81, tall and straight and sure in the saddle, as he reviews his troops with the graceful agility of youth. And they will tell till the end of time how King Gustav V of Sweden played a wonderful and often winning game of tennis till he was 88 years old. But as his last days neared, the aging monarch succumbed to a more quiet life. It was not until he was nearly 90 that he began to slow and show his age. The last years were mostly spent indoors, reading and writing, seeing visitors, and following his newest interest, the art of embroidery. One of his last official callers was America's Eleanor Roosevelt. And soon after these final films were made, it became 1950. And as 1950 neared its end, King Gustav died. He had lived for close to 100 years and ruled Sweden with kindness for nearly half a century. It's September 24th, 1930, and at Stone Harbor, New Jersey, young Bill and Jim are ready to test their homemade diving bell. Fashioned of roofing copper, bit of window glass, bicycle pump, and length of hose, total cost of contraption and equipment is just $5. The strangest fact of all is that the diving half of Jim and Bill doesn't drown. Well, now the fish have seen everything, including that magazine, because it's probably last week's. Instead of pumping tires, the pumper tires, and is plenty glad when Bill wants to come up. Yes, it's a homemade diving outfit, but it works. Tirpitz the Terrible. It's 1930, and here are last pictures of the bearded giant von Tirpitz, hard-driving admiral of the German Navy under the Kaiser during the First World War. A naval genius, master tactician, he fortunately couldn't stop Allied Atlantic shipping. It's the 11th of May, 1928, and here, returning from vacation in Europe, is Madame Frances Alda of New York's Metropolitan Opera Company. Madame Alda, whose thrilling voice the passage of time has stilled. After leading the nation's #1 dance band, he figures he can do anything. He's Paul Whiteman, and it's 24th of May, 1929. And in New York City railroad yards, the famed band leader shows he can engineer a train as well as an orchestra. Here's all that's left of 2 homes and 2 planes after fatal and frightening accident in Braintree, Massachusetts. It's the late 30s, and 2 Naval Reserve planes crashed in midair, the wreckage falling into residential section and crushing 2 homes. It's a miracle no one in homes is killed, but actually no civilian is even hurt. It's not that way with 2 pilots and their observers, though. All 4 are killed in crash. It's 1924, and nearing Hollywood, California, Joseph Eliason approaches end of an enforced 400-mile walk. He's been walking like this for 20 days, and for those 20 days, he hasn't taken one morsel of food. At end of jaunt, he tells admirers he hiked to lose weight. If he looks sickly, it's because he lost 40 pounds. It's 1925, and here's superstructure of Mammoth Bridge being built over waters of Delaware River. Official documents are placed in cornerstone of roadway, and then dignitaries of surrounding states help make the occasion a gala one. Here's Governor Pinchot of Pennsylvania doing his little bit. And this is the never-to-be-forgotten Mayor Kendrick of Philadelphia. Bridge builder Ralph Modjeski shows he can do anything his workers can do. On 1st of July, 1926, gigantic span across the Delaware is finished. And for dedication ceremonies, natives of all nearby states are on hand to get walk across bridge on opening day and hear several speeches. Here's the then Senator Edge addressing the crowd. Here are Governor Moore, Mayor King of Camden, and Governor Pinchot back again. Governor Moore says this is an auspicious day for modern crossers of the Delaware. The governor of Pennsylvania has something to say about that, too. Daughters of Highway Commissioner Lewis break rope that opens the bridge. And first over the magnificent span, a great feat of engineering, are state officials and builders of the bridge. And then the rush of people is on the bridge, inspecting every foot of the structure as they move along. It's a great day for the neighborhood, and it was nothing like this when Washington crossed the Delaware. It's 1921, and here's start of first balloon race in France since 1914. Balloons line up in Tuileries Gardens, are racing for grand prize in first competition since outbreak of World War I. Homing pigeons spread news. Here's pioneer aviator Santos Dumont. With him is Count de Lavaux. And off they go after the grand prize award in La Cigogne. English entrant in race, Harry Collins, makes trip in basket of the Billiken. It's sure sign peace has returned to Paris as famed racing balloons once more rise over France.
Lookout Mountain Lovelies. Well, maybe that should be Lookout Mountain Lovelies. Anyway, here in the early 1920s, the prettiest lassies and handsomest lads in Tennessee show their best beachwear under the DeSoto Falls on Lookout Mountain. No, they're not really just down to their long underwear. A closer look will prove that that's a bathing suit. Well, anyway, that's a rock she's lying on.
Billy and his bullwhip. In Melbourne, Australia, Billy Waite shows just how good an expert can get with a bullwhip and little practice. This isn't practice, though. It's perfect. And incidentally, that whip of Billy's is 75 feet long. Here's one way to help a lady off with her coat. Hudson River Highway. It's the late 20s, and here's start of Albany to New York boat race for outboards. And the water is plenty choppy. Philco's kid seems anxious to get downriver to the big city. But here's a fellow in just as much of a hurry, or maybe more so. And here's the finish of the 133-mile race, with racing driver Wilkinson bouncing to victory and breaking the record, too. Yes, it's the B1, which is A1 in this particular race.